Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. My name is Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I am a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. Today with a message for Sagittarius. This is a message that I have asked for from Spirit and from my guides that's going to be deeply meaningful and deeply significant to you this week. So before I get to your reading, before I forget, please like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It helps us stay in touch so that you get the consistent information every week so you can keep moving forward on your spiritual path. And I so appreciate your support for this channel. It does really help so that we get more and more positive energy out into the world. So, your reading is very interesting. I'm reading the cards differently than I usually would because most of the information is coming intuitively. It's not coming kind of according to the logic of the tarot cards. So the energy around you this week is the Temperance card. Now this is the card associated with Sagittarius, but in this case I'm feeling like it's a go with the flow kind of energy. That everything looks peaceful, everything looks calm, no one's rocking the boat, no one's making any waves, we're just kind of going along with it. Everything is held in perfect balance and everything just kind of feels good. But you, Sagittarius, ever the philosopher, you're lost in thought. So you're trying to figure out right from wrong, and you know right from wrong, but it's more about deciding when to act, deciding what to do about this, what you're seeing, the right and wrong. And this card, he is the card of a leader. He's ready to jump into action, but he's very careful about getting into what he's getting into. He wants to know exactly what battle he's going into so that he knows he has a chance of succeeding. He's not just going to be like a knight and jump in because he wants to be in the action. He's a lot more calculated. And that's where you are. You've been seeing a particular truth in your world and you're just not sure exactly how to proceed. You know what you're seeing is right. You trust yourself. You know that you're seeing the truth, but you're just not quite sure what to do about it. So when I drew these cards, they immediately said to me the word whistleblower. And whistleblower is someone who knows the truth and is willing to go up against what is generally accepted as the truth and point out that it's not. So that's what I have depicted here. We've got the Three of Pentacles is kind of like this humdrum so-so, like we just go along with it because that's what we're accustomed to. I'll skip the middle card for a second. On the other side, we have that Seven of Swords, which is the deception. Something is wrong. Someone is doing something that they shouldn't be, or there's a collective energy happening that things are being taken from others that shouldn't be taken from. That really wasn't clear. Something's happening that shouldn't be, and there's deception going on about it. So someone is getting something that doesn't belong to them. Someone is taking something that doesn't belong to them, and this can be magnified against, I know it's the collective, but it can be, this is like many people doing this and it becomes one energy. Now, you're in the middle. You're the Six of Swords, so you know what's right. But and see, he's opposing that Seven of, wait a second. Do I have these cards correct? Yeah, he's opposing that Seven of Swords, but he's really reluctant to do it. You're reluctant to move on. You're reluctant to move forward. You're pushing yourself forward because you know you have to, but you're really reluctant to do so. And I believe it's because it rocks the status quo. You know it's going to be a big wave when you blow the whistle. This is a dragon and a phoenix wound around each other. So what's going to happen when, you see they're held together in like a yin-yang bubble. What's going to happen when you take your sword, your King of Swords sword, and you pierce through that bubble, and now you've set a dragon and a phoenix loose on the earth? What's going to happen? And that's why you're being so careful and so calculated about this, because you know it's going to make a big shakeup in your world around you. So let me see if I can get any information as to the pace, because I see what's happening and I'm not sure if they're saying, continue with this because that's the way you need to go. But what they're actually saying is trust your instincts. You're wanting to overthink it. Your King of Swords is going a little too heavy. That's why we've got a lot of sword cards here. And Pentacles to some extent is also calculation. So this is actually time to go with your instincts of what is right to do, when it's right to do it, and don't worry about the consequences of bursting this bubble. There's a reason why you saw the truth when you did. There's a reason why the truth came to you and why you're feeling inspired to act now. It's a bigger force coming through you, and the responsibility is not totally yours. I hope that makes sense to you, because it's like you're doing the work of something bigger. And so it's not about you personally and worrying about what's going to happen to you personally. It's funny because all these cards are, except for this one, these are all minor arcana, which is the small stuff, our mundane world, and this is the bigger spiritual thing. And there's an imbalance here. There's only one spiritual thing in this, but they're saying, you know, this all comes to you at this time for some reason. For some reason, you need to be speaking your truth when it feels right for you to speak your truth, but the worst thing you can do is overthink it. Okay? So this means to get out of your way, to whatever you usually do to stop overthinking. If it's doing some physical exercise, doing something creative, trying to meditate to quiet those thoughts down, and I shouldn't say trying, just meditating so you quiet those thoughts down, and looking for that intuitive, yep, I'm going to do this. Yep, this is the right time, because the thoughts are just, they're putting out your fire. Instead of feeding it, instead of stoking it, they're too strong, they're putting it out. And you're trying to bury it in the earth here with that Three of Pentacles. So really trust that emotion, trust that intuition, trust that sense that you are going to get a sense this week of when and what you're supposed to do. So instead of sitting there worrying and wondering what you're supposed to do, just wait for it. Just know it's coming, trust it's coming, and it's going to talk to you. I'm feeling that very strongly, that there's just going to be a moment. And they're saying there's going to be 3 moments. So I think 3 different courses of action, possibly building on each other, but just listen for them. Don't think that they're not coming, or they're just no thinking, just listen for them. Okay? Now, if you're feeling like this reading didn't address something that you're concerned about in your world and you want to follow up with something one-on-one, I am booking readings right now. You can find out more information through my website, and the description is below. But I look forward to seeing you next week and hearing what course of action you actually decided to take. So I will see you next time, and have a good week.